UA Columbia Cable 3 Sports presents the high school football game of the week, featuring New Rochelle, Eastchester, White Plains, Hastings, Pelham, Dobbs Ferry, Ardsley, Scarsdale, Rye, Mamaroneck, Bronxville, Stepanek, Iona Prep, and Rhinebeck, plus the Class A, B, and C Section 1 championships. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. only on UA Columbia Cable 3 Sports, Westchester's own.
Out, looks in the end zone, Pistone, touchdown! No, it's incomplete! Williams comes in motion, the pitch comes out to Gaden. Around the end, has a couple of blockers. Fights off 2 tackles, 3 tackles, and he goes in the end zone!
Incredible run, incredible. Harold Gaden from 20 yards out.
At the 24-yard line, so this is a 34-yard attempt. Pat McElduff is the holder. McKean is the kicker. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good! A 34-yard field goal by Robert McKean. And Our Lady of Lourdes goes up on top, 25-24. It's a Friday night here at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon as we kick off our 1982 coverage of the 1982 Section 1 Bowl Championships. Hi, everybody. John Carrillo along with the hacker Pete Maneri from Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. The first of 2 Class C semifinal tonight. Number 1 team, the Eagles of Dobbs Ferry, undefeated and untied, 7-0 on the year, and they'll be taking on the Tigers of Croton, ranked number 7 in our polls, and coming in with a record of 5-2. Pete the hacker Maneri is finished raking his leaves and is back with us this afternoon or this evening. Pete, funny kind of game because Croton has already lost to Dobbs Ferry earlier this season. Game number 1 of the 1982 campaign, 44-0. Can it happen again? I guess the big question.
Well, for Dobbs Ferry, it's been a whole season of can you top this? And thus far, they have topped this. They've been an outstanding ball club. Nobody has been able to put a damper on them. You know, people stop them for a half, they give them a bad time, and they're patient, they're mature, they go ahead and they play their game, and they eventually go ahead and win. Can Croton Harmon beat them? I don't think so. But of course, you know, I'm the guy who bet on the Titanic making it all the way twice. I just think the Eagles are very, very powerful. I think we're going to see them again in the championship.
Coach Frank Violante of Dobbs Ferry doesn't like the Class C semifinal. Boy, I sure hope we don't get hit by some punts here. But he doesn't like the Class C semifinal for the reason that he has to play the same team that he met earlier in this season again tonight. Jerry Salesi, on the other hand, the head coach for, he likes it. He thinks it makes it a unique situation. But nonetheless, it's a bowl game, it's a championship game, and one of these two teams is going to play for the championship.
Well, usually the team that lost the first game has an advantage because they see over and over what the other club did to beat them. And, you know, that's been exposed. They know what they have to do to stop the winner of the first game. And I think there's also that emotional edge for the loser of the first one. They want to get back. They have something to prove. There's always that vengeance. We know that's true in professional athletics, in college athletics, and on an even more emotional level here on high school athletics. It should be a good one.
Well, the crowd is still rolling in here at Memorial Field. The excitement's starting to get very thick here as we're about set to kick off our coverage of the 1982 Section 1 Bowl Championships from Memorial Field. Tonight, a Class C semifinal, Dobbs Ferry versus the Tigers of Croton. We'll meet both head coaches right after this. Officially, they're known as the Croton Harmon Tigers. To their friends, the Croton Tigers will do. And that is the visitors in today's Class C semifinal from Memorial Field. 5-2 on the year, and their head coach, Jerry Salesi. And he has had a tough time of it this season. Pretty good record, but he has to play in Conference C North. We don't know too much about it because, unfortunately, only one team in our franchise area, that being the Bulldogs of Irvington, play in that conference, so we don't get a look at them too often. But all you have to do is go to Coach Salesi, and he'll tell you just how tough it is.
C North was very competitive this year. Really, all the teams were about equal in talent, and we had a lot of tough games. Irvington, Valhalla were very tough games for us, and we were fortunate to come out on top. Well-balanced league.
You had to win the last regular season game to get in, didn't you?
Yeah, we had to beat Pleasantville. Our kids were very excited about it, and they played a super ball game, particularly defensively.
How does your football team feel about having to play Dobbs Ferry again in the opening round?
Surprisingly, they're very excited about it. They beat us very badly opening day, but we have matured quite a bit as a football team, and we're looking forward to it. It's an honor to be in a bowl game, and kids are very, very excited about it.
Is it a different football team from that first game to this point now?
I think so. I think it's a team that's much more confident in themselves. We will go out and give it our best shot. I think defensively we've improved tremendously since then. Right now we feel that they can't score 44 points against us again.
Any thoughts, just personal opinions or observations on the playoff system that Class C has decided to go with?
I think it's interesting. You get a true champion in C, and I think that's kind of nice. That sets C off. It makes it unique from the A and B system. And at the end of the season, one C team can say they're C champions.
Everybody knows how a high school football team, its members, would feel about a bowl championship, but how would a head coach take it?
Oh, it's nothing like it. Winning the league championship on Saturday was tremendous feeling, and I think to win a bowl would surpass that. The whole coaching staff is just elated about being in the bowl game.
Unfortunately for the head coach in Class C, you have to go 2 wins before you come up with the 1 bowl win. Of course, we're in a semifinal. His Tigers of Croton, the visitors, and they have to meet the #1 team in the county, the Eagles area team, as you heard Coach Salesi mention, already beat his ball club 44-0 in the opener this season. Could things be a little different? Frank Violante thinks they might be, and we'll check in with the Dobbs Ferry head coach right after this.
What's on TV
Tonight in the Class C semifinal at Memorial Field, a team that you've already seen on the Cable 3 game of the week. They struggled a little bit against Bronxville, but did come away with a win. And then the week after that, just utterly destroyed Rye-Neck in the Conference C South Championship game. Tonight, a different story. He's already played. The Eagles have the Tigers of Croton, first game of the season, 44-0 decision there for Dobbs Ferry. Frank Violante is their head coach, very nice fellow and a very good coach. The only problem is he's yet to go through an entire season undefeated. He always ends up with 1 loss. This could finally be his year, and he thinks he's ready for that undefeated season.
I don't know. We're just taking them one at a time. It's going to be tough. We have to play Croton again. A team we've already beaten, so that makes it a very difficult challenge, not only because they're vastly improved, but the logical aspect of playing somebody we've already beaten. So we'll just have to wait and see.
You did pretty good for yourself in that championship game for the C-South against Rhinebeck. Did the game that we had on cable against Bronxville help in that win on that next Saturday?
Definitely, John, without a doubt. I think I had said that to you after the game. We needed something to wake us up, and we went to Rhinebeck, and I thought we played real well.
You told us after the game was over on the Saturday that we saw you that on any given day, one of those three backs that you have can put together a fine day for you and pull you through for a ball game. In our game, it was one back, and then against Rhinebeck, it was another back. Are you saving the last one for this ball game?
Geez, I hope so. You know, Brian has had some good days, but obviously not as good as Richie and Rocky has. But he's capable of breaking it and do as well as they have. But, you know, like I said, any one of those three backs can do it any time.
You're the only class that has the playoff system in the Section 1 bowl games. Are you in favor of it? Do you like it, or would you rather have a one-shot deal?
I'd rather have a one-shot. Now, since Conference C is getting so small and the probability exists of having to play a team you've beaten again in the bowl, I don't like it. You know, we may have to play Rhinebeck again if we're fortunate enough to get by Croton. You know, it's hard, very difficult.
How is it for you as the head coach? As you mentioned, you might have to play Rhinebeck in the championship. You've got to play Croton in the first game, a team you already beat. Are you going to find any problems getting the kids up for the games?
Well, I hope not. You know, we've been a little sluggish so far this week, but I think when Friday night they get under the lights and all, they'll be ready to go. It's a championship game. Every one counts. There is no tomorrow, so you just have to go out and play your best.
2 more games left to go for Frank Violante's Dobbs Ferry Eagles, and at that point, which of course we'll be able to tell you if indeed he came up with that undefeated season. We're a lot smarter than you give us credit for. We're just moments away from the opening coin toss of tonight's Class C semifinal of the Section 1 Bowl Championships. From Memorial Field, it'll be the Tigers of Croton at 5-2 taking on the undefeated, untied Eagles of Dobbs Ferry at 8-0 on our Game of the Week here at Cable 3. I'm John Caridio. We'll have the Hacker back up in the booth to join me for today's game right after this. Now they've just finished playing the national anthem, the combined bands, something we don't get to see too often, basically because a lot of times we don't have 2 high schools with marching bands, but Croton and Dobbs brought both of their marching contingents this evening, and combined effort playing the national anthem as they'll march off the field, and we're about set for the opening coin toss. Let's take a look at our officials crew for this evening's Class C semifinal. The referee, Joe Cusick, head linesman, Leo Dragani, the field judge is Bucky Brown, and the umpire is John Yozo. So let's go down to the field now for the coin toss with referee John Cusick.
Okay, now, fellas, as captains, you're representing your ball clubs. If you have a problem, I want you as captains to come out and talk to one of the officials, no one else. All right? Make sure you thoroughly understand that. During an option, make sure you thoroughly understand the option. If you don't understand that option, have me repeat it. We'll repeat it as many times as you want so you can make a proper decision. Once you make that decision, it's final. Croton, you're the visiting ball club. Who's going to call the toss? You're going to call the toss. You call it while it's in the air. I have a token. Mark tail and mark head. Call it. Heads. And we have a head. You want the ball?
Drop, run!
Before you leave, hold on one moment, please. A little something for each of the captains. Yeah, and I lost the other coin. There you go. Okay, now will you turn this way, please? You turn this way. We have Croton, who receives.
All right, so as you saw there, Croton winning the first battle tonight, winning the coin toss, have elected to receive as both teams now head to their respective benches. And we're about set to go for the first of 2 Class C semifinals. The other one to be played on Saturday, September 20th, up at FDR High School in Hyde Park. November. What did I say?
You said September.
September. Woo-hoo.
You say September.
That'll be played Saturday between Pine Plains and Rhinebeck, and then the 2 winners will meet here on Friday the 26th at 8 o'clock for the Class C championship. We told you about both schools. Dobbs Ferry, our #1 team all season long. at 7-0 on the year. They accumulated the most points during the football season and gave up the least amount of points in 7 total games to date, and that includes a lot of shutouts. Good defensive ball club.
They certainly are, John. Both of these clubs have a reputation of being able to stop people. The Eagles especially, and the question is, can Croton Harmon get up on the board often enough? Because you know that the Eagles are going to score some points.
All right, you take a look at the Eagles. They'll be off to start this ball game. Setting up the ball for the Eagles, number 6, Pat Diffley. Diffley, a junior, tight end and a linebacker. And he's about set to go. The referees retreat to their respective sidelines, and we're about set to go for the opening kickoff of today's Cable 3 High School Game of the Week, the Class C semifinals of the Section 1 Bowl Championships. And it is a squibber and taken by number 21, Chris Adami. Adami up to the far side and finally goes down at about the 35-yard line. So the Tigers with pretty good field position to open it up. So let's take a look at their offensive set. They're led by quarterback number 10, Tim Cawley. And in the backfield with him, the fullback is number 32, Scott Monroe, the tailback, Rusty Schultz, and the slot back, number 21, Adami. The split end, Fred Ryder, and the tight end is Bruce Brunning. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Opening offensive play of this Class C semifinal, and a first pass of the day played Adami, the intended receiver, and Cawley unable to complete it. Let's take a look at the front line for the Tigers. The center, number 65, is Tim Grant. The 2 guards, Mike Wagner and Matt Cawley, and the 2 tackles are Paul Davis and Ken Denholm. So the first pass of the day incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Cawley pitches this one outside to Rusty Schultz, and Schultz gets to turn the corner and gets about a 5-yard gain up to the 40-yard line. All right, let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Eagles. The 2 tackles, Sanfilippo and Giuliano. The defensive ends, Bill Neffy is a good one, number 60, and Eric Blaha on the other side. And the inside linebackers, George Bonifacio and Guy Sullivan. So 3rd down and 5 now for the Tigers. Ball right at the 40-yard line. Pitch again to Schultz, cuts to the inside, and he will be short of a first down of about 2 yards. It'll bring up a 4th and 2, and we'll take a look at the deep backs for the Eagles on the defensive set. The outside linebackers, Diffley and Anacarico. The defensive halfbacks, Ed Polson, Ira Bogner, and Rocky D'Agostino. So they can come up about 2 yards short, Croton does, and we'll bring up now a 4th and 2. And getting the punt away, and a doozy. Fielded by Anacarico, and he lets it slip through his hands. It's going into the end zone. If he touched it, that's a safety. A touchback. He didn't get his hands on it and downed it in the end zone. What a beautiful kick, though, by number 55, Scott Viola.
He just boomed it, John, and of course, had that ball been covered, because it had been touched, had that ball been covered by one of the Tiger players, it would have been 6-0 Croton Harmon right there.
I think Anacarico thought he might have touched it, because he really went after that football.
Yeah, he really covered it, and I do believe that he did touch it. He did get the hand on it, and he very wisely got back there instead of it out. He just buried himself over the ball.
All right, first offensive play for the Eagles. This is number 40, Rich DeGuglielmo, the forward, or the fullback rather, and he gets a pickup of about 2 yards. Take a look at the offensive set. The Eagles are run by quarterback John DeGuglielmo, his cousin Rich, the fullback, the 2 halfbacks, Rocky D'Agostino, Brian Anacarico, the tight end Pat Diffley, and the split end number 22, Ira Bogner. Pickup of about 2 yards on that play for DeGuglielmo, 2nd and 8. And they get to Anacarico. He tries to come to the outside and gets another 3. And we'll bring up now a 3rd down and 5. The rest of the offensive set for the Eagles. The center is Barker. The 2 guards, Kim and Neff. And the tackles, Sanfilippo and Joe Baviello. 3rd and about 5 for the Eagles. Both teams opening game jitters, maybe.
Could be a feeling out period. They're both good ball clubs, John.
Ball is bobbled at the line of scrimmage by DeGuglielmo, and he has to fall on it in a hurry. And Croton is held on the first set. Let's take a look at that defense quickly for the Tigers. At the nose guard will be Mike Wagner, number 56. The tackles, Van Oslet and Viola. The defensive ends, Eric Nachman and Bruce Brunning. And running down the defensive backs for the Tigers, Jim Sandoval is the middle linebacker, Rusty Schultz, Matt Call in the outside spots. The halfbacks, Brian Kean, Chris Sadami, and the safety is Tim Cawley. So John DeGuglielmo will be punting again, or for the first time tonight, I should say. Penalty marker goes down. He gets an end-over-end kick. It will bounce, comes right to the sidelines, and it is down there by Dobbs Ferry at about the 47-yard line.
Curious to see what the flag may be, John. It could have been illegal procedure. The blocking back may have moved. It's an awfully, let's see. Yes, sir, it is illegal procedure. He got off the train a little while ago, huh?
Let's go.
So they will discuss it with the Tigers captains. She heard in the pregame show Jerry Salisi, as the penalty is declined, and Croton will take the football. She heard in the pregame show these two teams met in the opening game, and Dodds came away with a 44-0 win. Jerry Salisi, the head coach for the Tigers, told me at a press conference of all the coaches last Tuesday, he does not expect Dobbs Ferry to be able to score 44 points again against his team. Well, right now the Tigers in excellent field position at the Dobbs Ferry 48-yard line. And the ball is loose on the handoff. I believe the Eagles have recovered. They do. They gave the ball to Rusty Schultz, and he couldn't hold on to it. George Bonifacio, or Pat Diffley, number 6.
And we're going to take a look at it again. And this could be the first big break of the day.
There's the end result, which is most important. So Dobbs Ferry gets it back. First turnover of the game, a fumble charge to the Tigers. DeGuglielmo back in the offensive set, and this is Rich DeGuglielmo, number 40, and he gets a good gainer into Croton territory at about the 46-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards on that carry, and we'll bring up now a 2nd down and 3, and a good down here for Dobbs Ferry if they were a throwing team.
Well, you know, they could do a few things here, John. They could try a sweep. They could. This is a feel-out play. You do what you want to do on this one.
DeGuglielmo tries to go off guard and only gets a couple. He'll be short of a first down.
And John, when I say a feel-out play, what I mean is, you know, in the second and short, you can try things. You can try an unbalanced. You can try going to something that you think, and they did get the first down.
Ooh.
They did get it. You know, you can try things that you might want to try later on in the ball game. See what works. See if you can trap block. You can try all sorts of fun things, figuring that if you miss it, you'll be able to go for it again. That's right.
What do you got here?
First down of the evening for either club.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. This is DiAgostino. Penalty marker goes down, and he is stopped line of scrimmage.
I believe you're going to get a hold along the line against Dobbs Ferry.
Nope, illegal motion.
So that's penalty number 2, and let's see if they decline this one. I doubt they will.
Dobbs Ferry, always known as a fundamentally sound football team, and I have to express a little surprise at this point that they've had 2 motion calls against them early.
Well, you know, it is a big ball game, John. The kids are emotional, and this will cost them 5 yards. It's a second for a total of 5. You know, that's to be expected a little early. Of course, Frank Violante's club, you're right, very well drilled. They're just a real good, solid ball club.
So 5-yard penalty brings up a 1st and 15 now. The ball at the 48-yard line of Croton. John DeGuglielmo, the senior, running the ball club, gets the football on a power handoff right up the middle to his cousin Rich DeGuglielmo, and he gets about 3 yards of that back. And he is now the ball at the 5-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 now.
And John, we should mention that while we've done bowl games for a number of years and sometimes pretty tough weather, it's not bad tonight at all. A little chilly. It is football weather, but it's nothing that is going to bother the play at all.
DeGuglielmo drops back for his first attempt. He's going for it all. The pass, he caught it, but out of bounds. Number 82, Rolf Svensson, the senior, on a pretty good-looking pass from DeGuglielmo. He put that one on the nose.
He laid it right out there, John. The official, though, right on top of the play. A nice catch and a nice call. He was out of bounds as he brought the ball in.
So it goes as an incomplete pass, and we'll bring up now a 3rd and 12. Svensson caught a touchdown pass against Bronxville in our game of the week. 3rd and 12. Anacarico in motion. DeGuglielmo on a rollout. Going for it all again. Diffley wide open. He yanks the football down to the 10-yard line.
And the first down.
32-yard pass completion. DeGuglielmo to Diffley, and it is a first down. And I believe it looks the way that where the ball is set, they will be able to pick up a first down without getting in.
John, interesting play there is that the man in motion went to the left. The play went to the right. The man in motion became a blocking back when everybody went the other way. Very nice deception.
Handoff to DeGuglielmo, and he gets a nice hole off a tackle and is down to about the 6-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 5 yards, and we'll bring up a 2nd and 5. And I think this is not what Croton wanted to do, have Dobbs Ferry start to roll down the field early here in the first quarter, and I don't think they expected him to do it through the air.
Well, interesting, John, is that the first pass attempt was along the left side on the corner. The right was the side that they ran on the second pass play, so they're mixing it up, and I'm sure they feel they can go deep.
DeGuglielmo with a call, and he pounds his way down to about the 2-yard line. He'll be shy of a first down by a couple of yards. And we'll bring up a 3rd down. They're going to mark the ball at about the 3-yard line.
Well, you know, John, in the pregame, we were talking about the advantage that the losing team from the first game has when they play a club the second time. And I mentioned that they look and see what beat them. This is not what beat them, so Frank Violante countering a little bit, coming out not smug over a 44-0 win the first time around.
DeGuglielmo off guard, touchdown! Rich DeGuglielmo, the fullback, with a 3-yard touchdown run off a nice hole off a guard. And Dobbs is on the board first, 6-0.
There you go. Nice dive play, simple belly play right off the tackle. Left side, 53 yards in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plays.
Eagles will try for the 2-point conversion. Pitch comes outside to Anacarico, and he cuts inside and goes in the end zone. Brian Anacarico, number 8, on the option from DeGuglielmo, and he goes in, and Dobbs Ferry now with 5:25 to play in this first quarter, leading Croton by a score of 8-0.
So Dobbs Ferry just showing their muscle early on, John. A good-looking drive, 53 yards, 9 plays, and they mixed it up. And of course, they saw the last couple times down. Interesting on that drive, they saw that they had an opening on the left side of their offensive line, and they ran a belly series, dive plays off that left side, and just went for it. And boy, they went right at it again. And they're saying to Croton Harmon, you better stop us because we're coming right at you. 8-0 right here, 5:25 remaining first period.
All right, Pat Diffley has set up the football at the 40-yard line. He'll be kicking it off. The deep back for the Tigers, number 7, is Brian Kean. He is set, and he sets a line drive. Kean will take it at his own 16-yard line. Cuts to the outside, couple of blockers, and he finally goes down at about the 32-yard line. On the tackle, Rob Swenson, number 82 for the Eagles. Well, the Tigers set it up 1st and 10 from their own the 32.5-yard line.
In plays from scrimmage, 13 plays for Dobbs Ferry, only 5 for Croton Harmon. So Dobbs Ferry is controlling the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, and of course Croton Harmon with that very crucial midfield fumble.
And it looks like a penalty marker thrown on the play, and they are going to march off a big one against the Tigers and bring the football back to the 17-yard line. Blocking below the knees, or below the waist, actually. So now the Tigers facing a 1st and 10 deep in their territory at their own 17-yard line. Tim Cawley, number 10, the back, and he quickly pitches out to Schultz, and Schultz tries to go off tackle and gets about 3 yards close to the 20-yard line.
John, Croton Harmon had some success, although they did not get a first down. They had some success on their first possession. They ran twice to the left side, trying to go not really with a sweep because they're they're running to the near side of the field. Let's see if that's a tendency they stick with throughout the game.
Second down at 7. Ball at the 19-yard line. 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter. They give the football off to number 11 on an inside reverse. Chris Adami, number 21, pardon me. Adami getting up to the 20-yard line, a pickup of just 1 yard. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7 now. Jerry Salisi, head coach of the Tigers, was put in the hole early when he lost his fullback, Phil Cohen, to an injury. Cohen not even dressed for today's ball game. Scott Monroe filling in for him. Cawley back to pass, lets it up, pleats it to Adami, still on his feet, cuts to the inside and goes down at about the 35-yard line.
And the first down. Nice play.
15-yard pass completion. Cawley to Adami. And Croton now starting to move the football a little bit. That's one thing Bronxville had a lot of success with in our game of the week, was throwing against Dobbs Ferry.
All right, we're going to take a look again here as he rolls to the right. Basically the same pass pattern to the same intended receiver on the first play from scrimmage.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Pitch comes outside to Schultz. Bonifacio on a great play. Blitzing on that call and
I'll tell you
grabbing
what,
Adami from the back.
Bonifacio ball tackling on that one. Almost forcing a fumble. Excellent defensive play.
Loss of 2.
You know, when the offensive man holds that ball out there like a loaf of bread, boy, you know, you're able to punch at it, grab at it, go for his arm, you do whatever you want.
2nd and 12 now. Cawley pitches it out to Schultz, and Bonifacio there again, bringing Schultz down to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Vic, get in there.
Vic Golio, you hear being told to get in the ball game, replacing Bonifacio. Seems to have a little equipment trouble.
John, Croton Harmon has attempted 2 passes, completed 1. They haven't gone over the middle. And I think what they're going to have to do to keep the safeties and linebackers honest for Dobbs Ferry, I think they're going to have to throw a couple of quick look-ins.
All right, well, Cawley here in the shotgun. Gets good protection, throws to the sidelines, and he completes it to Adami, who goes out of bounds across the 40 at about the 42-yard line. And it will be shy of a first down by about 4 yards. So he gets a pickup of 8 on that completion.
And again, they insist on throwing to the outside because they may know something I don't.
So Scott Viola back into punt again. Gets a good snap and a high boot. D'Agostino takes it at his own 35, fumbles it, picks it up, gets to the outside, and it is a foot race. And D'Agostino pulled down from behind by number 56, Mike Wagner, and if he didn't get a hold of him, D'Agostino was gone.
And I'll tell you, Ladner did a nice job. We're going to take a look at it again. D'Agostino had a step on him. And this is a good punt. Gets it up high, good hang time. Quick little fumble, and there he goes. That was the break. It ruined the timing. And watch this. Gotcha.
Pretty good speed there.
You bet.
So the Eagles again in good field position. 1st and 10. The ball at the 32. Penalty marker goes down. Handoff off the middle to Guglielmo, and he'll be close to another first down. We'll have to check out the penalty marker. Illegal motion, again the call against the Eagle. Well, they will take that penalty and negate the 8-9 yard pickup by DeGuglielmo. And they mark it off. Joe Cusick, our referee. Legal motion. So it'll bring up now a 1st and 15. And you might be able to hear Frank Violante a little upset along the sidelines. We have a microphone down on the field. And I'm sure he's wondering why all the illegal motion calls this early.
3 calls, loss of a total of 20.
D'Agostino with a big hole, comes to the inside. 1 man to beat, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Dobbs Ferry.
37-yarder.
And that is just good blocking off the line of scrimmage.
We're going to take a look again, and you're right, John, it's just good blocking. They get everybody. This is just an off-tackle play. He cuts inside, The interference he had, everybody blocking downfield, he had it by himself.
Well, Frank Violante this year has been blessed with 3 excellent backs and another one who comes in. This is a 2-point conversion again into the end zone. The pass, it is good.
Now they say he was out of the end zone, who's beyond the end marker. Now one official with his hands up signaling yes, and one of the others says no, and they say yes it is.
It
he
is good.
Inbounds.
John DeGuglielmo hitting Pat Diffley right along the end line. And it goes for the 2-point conversion with 1:22 left to go in the first quarter. Dobbs Ferry now on top, 16-0.
All right, we're going to take a look at it again. This is the touchdown. Now watch this, an off-tackle play, cuts, scoots up. Look at the interference in front of him. And look at him go. Whew. That is blocking, my friend. Good basic, they call it blocking and tackling. Well, there's a lot of blocking, not much tackling on that one. That's why they draw it on the blackboard, John. You cut up here, we're going to open up a hole, and then we'll throw a couple of blocks, and you go as far as you can. Well, he could have gone into the tennis courts that time that he wanted to.
Oh, the Eagles kicking off again. Pat Diffley.
37 yards, 2 plays, thank you.
This is going to be taken by Adami at about his own 16. Cuts to the outside, and the Eagles close up in a hurry. George Bonifacio again on the tackle. And the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Minute 16 left to go in quarter number 1. This is the Class C semifinal. Dobbs Ferry ranked number 1 against number 7 Croton. John Carrillo along with a hacker Pete Maneri from Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. And we waited all year. We finally made it.
You bet. This is what they play for.
Coley brings the club up. Hand off to Schultz. Gets a little hole, bounces to the outside, and finds himself 30-yard line. Pickup of just about 2. Joe Giuliano making the tackle. Giuliano was injured in the game against Bronxville for Dobbs Ferry and didn't see too much action in that ball game. He's usually the punter and extra points kicker, and he is not punting today. He's also plays a tight end spot. We haven't seen him on offense, so he might still be a little bothered. I believe it was an injured ankle.
I think he also plays a trombone in the band. I mean, this is a multi-talented kid.
22 seconds left first quarter. Coley puts up it in the air. Adami is there, and it's incomplete. Good coverage by Brian Anacarico, who was with him step for step.
Anacarico, you're right, John, just got the hand up, and he did not commit some pass interference, and you could on that play when you have the defensive man between the receiver and the ball. We're going to take a look at it again. He did not bump him. And, you know, when you're going for the ball, if the official feels you don't have a chance of catching it, that is for the defensive man, pressure's on him to make the contact. He did not. Good non-call, in fact.
3rd and 8. Coley in the shotgun. Heavy rushes on. Puts it up in the air, and it is incomplete. Wide open for Croton number 80, Eric Knockman. And if all he has to do is bring that ball in, and it is a 1st down and a good gainer.
Well, I'm glad to see Croton Harm. We're going to look again. Throw the ball over the middle, as I mentioned. They're throwing against the zone, but he got it right in there, right in the seam, right in the middle. And that's got to loosen up the linebackers a little bit.
All right, Scott Viola has to come back in to punt again. And he gets off a beauty, a high spiral, fair catch being signaled for by Anacarico, and it drives him all the way back to his own 30-yard line.
That was a beauty.
4 seconds left to play in quarter number 1, 16-0 the score, Dobbs Ferry on top. And the Eagles have the football again, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. 2 touchdown runs, highlight quarters action. Rich DeGuglielmo on a 3-yard touchdown at 5:25 of the first quarter, and then Rocky D'Agostino with a 36-yard run at 1:22. They give the football to Rich DeGuglielmo, and he drives his way across the 35 to about the 37, and that will be a pickup of about 7 yards on that play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 3, but first we're going to pause here at Memorial Field as we have finished 1 quarter of football with the score Dobbs Ferry 16, Croton nothing. We'll have the 2nd quarter of this Class C semifinal coming up in just a moment. All right, we're back here at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. with the score Dobbs Ferry 16 and the Tigers of Croton nothing. We're waiting for our counterparts in the radio booth to get finished with their commercials, and we're about set to go now. Leading 16-0, John Carrillo along with a hacker Pete Maneri. Second down and 3 for the Eagles. All at the 37-yard line. Anacarico in motion. They give the ball to DeGuglielmo. He has the first down, and he drives the football up across the 40 to about the 43-yard line.
Third first down of the half. And of course, the Eagles with a couple of touchdowns got one touchdown without the benefit of a first down. Of course, that was a 37-yard romp on.
And Croton wants to take a timeout to talk things over with the 11:47 to play in the second quarter.
First time out of the ball game for either club.
The coaches heading out to their respective huddles. And Dobbs Ferry with a big explosion in the first quarter, leading 16-0.
All right, Mr. Dynamic. Oh, come on, get a tough. He asks, can you name the only two brothers who are high school head coaches in Westchester County? The answer to that is yes, I can.
And it is not Jerry Fiore and Vito Priori.
It is not.
It's no relation.
Is it? Isn't that like an unrhymed couplet?
I think so, yeah. All right, we'll have the answer for
blank
you.
verse or something like that.
You know more about that than I do. 16-0 is our score. The Class C semifinal from Memorial Field in Mount Vernon.
Don't you normally speak in Spencerian sonnets? Oh, speak to me.
Only if I've had a few.
Oh, I thought so.
We have other bowl games to present to you this season on Cable 3. We will have the Class A championship. Number 1 New Rochelle taking on number 2 Gordon. And then next week we will bring you the Class C final. The winner of this game taking on the winner of the Pine Plains Rye-Neck game.
Hi, Mom. Send money. Yeah.
It's nice to be back here.
Saying hello.
Peter Leone working the camera this evening down on the field.
All right, you can give him the $2 for that, John.
Fine.
No okay.
Problem. All right.
I told you you'd get some FaceTime tonight.
All right. First and 10 for Dobbs Ferry. Ball at their own 43. Anacarico comes in motion. They give him the football on the sweep. He has to come back to the inside and nothing doing there. The first one to meet him head on, number 57, Matt Cawley, the outside linebacker.
And Anacarico, as I believe we're going to see in a moment, goes back against the flow and meets his friends and then some. Here you see him cut right back. Oh, no. How rude.
No gain on the play, second and 10. Ball still at the 43. DeGuglielmo, and another penalty marker goes down. He gets it up to about the 47.
And I think you're going to have an illegal block in there. Let's take a look.
Holding the call against Dobbs Ferry. I'll tell you, even with leading by 16 points, this has to worry, I would imagine, head coach Violante a little bit. It's too many penalties, and it's really hurting their drives.
This is the fourth penalty. 15 yards, that gives him a total of 4 for 45 yards. Was the first having been declined by Croton Harmon. So 4 for 45. Croton Harmon has committed one penalty, cost them 15. And you're right, John, there's got to be some thought as to why and some sloppiness on the line play.
Second down and 24 facing the Eagles. They give the football to DeAgostino. A couple of blockers in front of him, and he gets it up close to the 40-yard line. Be about the 38, but he had the two guards, or one of the guards and one of the tackles right in front of him.
All right, we're going to isolate on him here and take a look again. DeAgostino, there you see him. Here he comes. Fights off a tackle, cannot finally beat the last man.
All right, they got yards on that carry, so it is 3rd and 20, 3rd and 14. DeGuglielmo in trouble, and down he goes.
Call it a sack. That's the first, and we're going to take a look at it again.
Mike Wagner on the sack.
Here comes Wagner.
He just runs out of time.
Yep.
So it'll bring up a 4th down, and the Tigers defense holding there. 10:03 left to go in the second quarter, and DeGuglielmo back to punt.
This drive started on the 30. They're only up on they're only to the 34 here, and a penalty.
Good snap, and he shanks the ball up his foot, but it takes a Dobbs Ferry roll. Bonifacio cruising down the sidelines with it, and he will down it at the 29-yard line.
And in fact, a very good Dobbs Ferry roll.
So the Tigers get it now, 1st and 10. This could be an important drive for them here early in the game, being able to, their defense, Eagles. And now if they can roll it down the field a little bit.
Well, they're down 16-0, John, and one of the things that they're finding is that Dobbs Ferry's dominating the football. Of course, they'd like to get on the board, and just as much they'd like to dominate the ball for a few minutes.
Pitch comes outside to Rusty Schultz. Cuts inside, and a good second effort gets him up to the 30-yard line. Kind of had a loss on the play, but now he makes it into a 2-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 8. Tim Cawley, he runs the ball club. There's 3 good backs. Now he sets up in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Throws, completes it to Adami, and Adami has enough for a 1st down as he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 10-yard pass completion.
And Adami, just a very all-purpose back.
Cawley now 3 for 6 through the air. 33 yards.
You like to have those backs, John, who can help you out on the little flare passes, who can run, and I wouldn't be surprised if he could throw it a little bit. Adami now split to the left side.
1st and 10, the ball at the 41.
He's in the slot.
Cawley right across the middle, and it is completed. Making the reception, number 22, Freddie Ryder. And Ryder has enough for another 1st down across the 45.
And we're going to take another look at that. John, I'm telling you, there's a little bit to be found as we take a look right there. There's a little bit to be found right in the middle of that zone. And you can exploit that a little bit. You know, in the zone, nobody's playing a man. And what you're going to do is find the seam if you can.
16-yard pass completion.
You know, every defense, offense a little bit, and that's what they're giving him, that pass over the middle.
Tigers on a roll now, 1st and 10, the ball at the Eagle 43-yard line. Cawley again in the shotgun. Puts it up, and it is completed. Number 80, Eric Nachman, making the reception and goes out of bounds inside the 25.
And another 1st down, and I'll tell you what, that ball was not thrown crisply, and Nachman came back, and we're going to see him do it here. He came back and just did a nice job. I almost thought someone had his hand on it. See him come back for the ball and hold on to it. And Croton very quickly marching 1, 2, 3 1st downs in a row on consecutive pass plays. And they're down there knocking on the 24-yard line.
19-yard completion. Cawley's going to stay in the shotgun. They send in everybody. He throws across the middle. Again, it is completed to Freddie Ryder. And Ryder goes down inside the 15.
Not quite a 1st down there, but they're going to give him, or do they? 2nd and very short. Now they call it time to bring the chains out. Let's see where they spot it. And we're going to take a look again right over the middle, and that's what I mean. They're getting into the middle of that zone.
Now Dobbs Ferry has got their outside linebackers blitzing on all of these plays, and I think that's where your seam is coming up.
That's right.
And Cawley isn't taking that much time.
No, he's not. He's not looking for secondary receivers. Just short of the 1st down. 2nd and fun. That's what this down's going to be. You know, John, you're right. He's not looking for secondary receivers. They're going with a primary receiver, and that's it. And they're going straight up over the middle, and they're going to make Dobbs Ferry stop them.
2nd and you saw about a couple feet. Not even, about less than half a foot.
And they go shotgun again.
From the 23. Cawley sets up a little flare pass to Schultz. He has it. Goes inside, outside, and gets it down to about the 5-yard line, and up for the 1st down.
And I'll tell you, John, that's 5 completed in a row.
That is a 6-yard completion. And it will be 1st and goal now for the Tigers. The ball at the Eagles' 7-yard line. Now here's an interesting point, whether Jerry Salisi will continue to keep it in the air or go back to the running game, but it gets awfully tough down here.
Well, they're operating out of the standard quarterback over center, and there's a flag.
Penalty marker is down as the pass is completed, but that is going to go as illegal motion against Croton.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
We're going to see it again. You might be able to see, I believe it is the tight end who jumps off sides, or the split end way on the far side.
On the right side, you're right.
And a good pass completion there. John Klein making the reception, but it is no good. And they will march it back. Good call there by Salisi, setting him up, setting Cawley back up at the line of scrimmage and still going for the pass.
Well, you like to see him under center in that situation because it gives him an option and defense think a little bit, and instead of, they packed it in over the middle, and what did he do? He threw the flare pass a little bit down to the right side.
Oh, the clock is stopped now, 6:54 to go, 2nd quarter, with Croton knocking on the door but trailing 16-0. They will now face a 1st and goal from the 12-yard line. Cawley again comes up to the line of scrimmage. Goes back to pass, throws, completed to Schultz, and he goes down to the 5-yard line.
And I'll tell you, Cawley is just white hot at this point. He just can't miss it. Again, he's just looking at his receiver right there. He doesn't look at anyone else. Looks straight down, finds his man, and throws it in there. And by the way, the Croton Harmon offensive line doing an excellent job, giving him plenty of time. No pressure at all.
2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Cawley on the pitch out to Schultz, and he is brought down front on the tackle. Bill Blaha, number 13, grabbing him at his ankles, and he lost about a yard on the play.
John, 6 completed passes in a row in that drive, and I'll tell you what, I don't ever remember, as we saw him then go to the run on to the right, I don't ever remember seeing 6 completed right in a row, and I mean in a row, no running plays involved there. Now they've been throwing right side, 3rd and 7. Let's see if they go left.
Cawley goes back, puts it up in the air, and a penalty marker go down. Brian Anacarico is going to be charged with pass interference.
You got it right there. That goes as a completed pass.
He took Bruce Brunning and just pushed him out of bounds before the ball got there. So that will be an automatic 1st down at the 1-yard line.
So 1st down right here. Watch him. See the man get hit right. Anacarico with his hands on him. And I'll tell you what, John, they really need that either. That ball was overthrown. And here we go. Here's the penalty. No. Okay, so they're going half the distance.
Pass interference against Dobbs Ferry, so it brings up an automatic 1st down. 1st and goal now from just on the outside of the 3-yard line.
5 penalties.
Cawley wants to take it himself. Joe Giuliano has a hold of him, and I think Cawley got a little cold feet. He saw George Bonifacio right up on the line, looking him square in the face.
And he said, think again. He says, well, so what? It'll be 2nd down. That's about it.
He lost about a yard on the play, so now it will be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
And John, as you look at the clock, you see what we were talking about. This is really important that Croton Harmon is controlling the football here. They, of course, want to score, but they've really accomplished something by getting some offensive momentum going here.
Cawley, and the ball is loose, and they say it was a forward pass, so it goes an incompletion. But man, oh man, did they come in off that line.
Let's take a look at it. We have it on the isolation.
They come right in at him. He doesn't even have a chance. You see, he did get his hand up. I don't know if he started to move it forward or not, but...
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The official was right on top of it and said, yes, as soon as the ball went, we've got a timeout now because we're going to have third and goal on the 4.
Timeout being charged to Croton, their 2nd of the 1st half. Here's your score, 16-0, with Dobbs Ferry on top. 2 first-quarter touchdowns.
Well, let's answer the quiz. Can you name the only 2 brothers who are high school head coaches in Westchester County? Okay, can you?
Yes, I can.
They're on the Hudson side of the county. They are Tony and Don and Tony DiMatteo of Gorton and Roseville. We're going to be seeing Gorton against New Rochelle High. And name their grand uncle. No, I can't. Don and Tony DiMatteo. And boy, did they do a great job over in Yonkers. They really do. Those two schools.
Both of, as you mentioned, we'll see Gorton against New Rochelle, and Roosevelt has a ball game also against Horace Greeley. That's going to match number 3 against number 4. Hey, fans reacting to an announcement to get the players, people who don't belong on the sidelines, get them off the field. They paid their money. They're allowed to boo the PA announcer if they want to.
Sure, why not?
All right, 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. The Tigers setting up again after the timeout. 5:05 left to go. Very important here that the Tigers score. They have put together a drive. And a stutter count by Cawley. And you can see Dobbs Ferry very anxious to start cruising in. And that'll mark the ball down to about the 2.
Great play. That was called. We're going to take a look at it again. And you know how you can see that time he gave it a hut or an extra little bit on the voice, and everybody stayed with it. That's a set play. Now a dive gets them into the end zone. 3rd and 2.
Cawley drops back to pass, puts it up into the end zone, incomplete.
John, I'll tell you what, I don't like that call at all. Let's take a look at that again. I thought, you know, when you're down on the 2 cracks at the line, you're going to get it in there. We look at him again here. He rolls back to the right, and again now, see, he's beginning to throw into the crowd, and you saw 4 defensive men there. And of course, his receiver ran out of real estate in the end zone.
Bruce Brenning, the intended receiver.
Now we're 4th and 2. I'd like on 3rd and 2, just dive under center. Keep a couple of quarterback keepers, you'll get the ball in.
Cawley on a rollout, puts it up zone, incomplete. And he had a heavy rush put on by Bill Neff, number 60. And he was just lucky to get that ball away. So Dobbs Ferry able to hold on after Croton rolls down the field.
And here you go to the left, and there was nothing on that pass at all.
So the Eagles will get the football back after stopping the Tigers. 1st and 10 from their own 2-yard line. The Tigers rolling down the field. They went 68 yards and came away empty. But maybe if you can look at a bright side, at least they kept the Eagles offense on the bench.
13 plays on that drive.
Rocky DiAgostino. Rich DeGuglielmo, I'm sorry, number 40 getting the call.
We're going to show you an isolated camera on DeGuglielmo. Now this is just bread and butter. We talked about it. Oh, got a lot himself on that one. He got himself another 10, 12. And all that was a playoff tackle. Good looking run. He gets out from underneath the shadow of the goalpost and picks up a 1st down on the 20.
18-yard gain. This is DiAgostino. He tries to go the outside. Bruce Brenning is there and brings him down at the 21. Pickup of just a yard.
Now this is an important defensive set, John, for Croton Harmon, because they've got to be heartened by holding the ball, and then you see him again, and they've got to be very, very disappointed by not punching it over. So, you know, and then all of a sudden a big rip on the 1st down, and they settle down that time. Good defensive pursuit.
Give the ball to DeGuglielmo. He goes off guard, and he will be shy of a 1st down. Sees across the 25-yard line. And we have a timeout on the field as each team will be made aware that there are 4 minutes to go in the 1st half of this Class C semifinal, with the score Dobbs Ferry 16 and Croton nothing.
All right, we've got the next bowl game coming up. Number 2, Gorton versus number 1, New Rochelle. That's the one they've been pointing to all year long, the Class A championship. And that's going to be shown Sunday at 10 a.m. Also Friday, you see it right there, post-Thanksgiving at 9:30 p.m. And that's following this game.
To Guglielmo, big hole off guard, and he has enough for a first down as he's up to the 35-yard line.
And we're going to see a defensive blitz here. The linebackers, or one of the safeties coming up, shooting the gap. Yo, right there.